Yeah, I'll start. We call it the People's Top 25. This is the top 25 that we all participate in, and then our viewers also participate in, like it says on the screen, and it's also in the description. Go to t25sports.com, and it's super easy to rank your top 25. It's right there on the front page. Do that. We shout out different users or different voters every week who have hot takes or things that we might disagree with or that everyone disagrees with, as we'll find out in a few minutes. I'm about to shout some of those guys out. But I just want to run through the top 25 real quick because it's another good one. Ohio State comes in at first as they did in the AP. But I'm going to run through some of the highlights because there were some very hot takes out there. Andrew B has Georgia at 1, which I can't really fault him much because I have Penn State at 1. And so I can't be I can't believe you have Georgia at 1 because Ohio State is kind of the consensus number 1 right there. And so for me to start point fingers and be wow, that's just a terrible take, I have Penn State at 1. So we are both in the minority. I'm not going to call him out and say he's a bozo for that. It's one of my good friends. But that's a hot take. Duncan has Florida State at 9, and I didn't double-check his ballot last week. I could do that real quick. I'm going to assume he did not have them ranked the week before. I don't think anyone had them ranked the week before.
It's a big riser.
Yeah, so jumping from unranked to 9th.
Yeah, he did not have them
Did not have them ranked. So a big jump, unranked to top 10, which it's very much a reaction, potentially an overreaction. The season will play out, and we'll find out more. MF Waterer ranked Mississippi State. I don't think I mentioned it last week, but he has Mississippi State at 24. He had them at 25 last week. So he's really high on Mississippi State.
According to him, we got a top 25 matchup.
Yeah, we do have a big top 25 matchup coming this weekend. But if you listen to some of our other users, we don't, because Chuck March has Arizona State unranked for potentially the second week in a row. I didn't double-check his week 1 ballot, but Chuck March is very low on the Sun Devils. His is a very bold ballot. I believe he's got Georgia Tech top 10. He has Arizona State unranked. He's got a lot of stuff in his ballot.
He did not have them ranked last week.
Yeah, so 2 weeks in a row unranked for the Sun Devils. So if you listen to our users, this is not a top 25 matchup because Mississippi State is top 25 and Arizona State is not. Chromie, you do need to work on your rankings. I'm interested to see where Houston falls after their week 1 game.
Congrats on finishing the MCAT as well, by the way, Chromie. I know he took it this morning.
Yeah.
So
Houston at number 2, according to Chromie.
That would have made the hot takes list had you got it in pre-show.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? We'll give him a quick shout-out. Chromie, whose ballot is yet to be in, has Houston at 2, but we know that's coming.
Huge matchup for Houston this week, too. I believe they play Rice.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Yeah.
In-state rival.
Facts.
I told MF Waterer, I texted in our group chat today, I said, I will be shouting you on the show because last week he had Notre Dame at 20. He had him in the 20s.
23, I believe.
23, dropped him to 24 or 25 this week. And I wanted to shout him out because while we don't know where Notre Dame is, he was kind of the first out of the people in our ballots to be low on Notre Dame. And they lost, and so they could still be a top. Miami could be the best team in the country. Notre Dame could be the second best. It's week 1. We don't know. But he was early to that, so I told him I would shout him out. So that's his second shout out of this segment.
He just texted us, Notre Dame sucks. They're horrible. If they suck that much, why did you leave them in your rankings then?
Well, he did. He was the first to have them ranked low. So I shouted him out for that. That's kind of all. Anything stand out to y'all on the top 25?
Yeah, I don't think Utah is getting enough love.
That's a great point. I don't think I ranked them. That might have been a mistake by me.
They're not in our top 25 at all. I had them ranked. I had them at 20. I'm the highest on them. They're only 2 points behind getting into the top 25, but even at 25, I feel like it's too low. I think that's just a microcosm of no one watched that game because it was at 2 a.m. Eastern time, essentially, against UCLA. But there's a team that's going to rise as the weeks go on. Also, Tennessee not being ranked surprised me. They're in the same spot as Utah, right there with 19 votes. We ranked instead. Mississippi State fans ranked the school up north and Missouri ahead of the Tennessee Volunteers and Utah.
The Missouri love was very surprising for me because I get they beat up on Arkansas State or wherever they played, or Pine Bluff. I don't remember who it was.
Central Arkansas?
Central Arkansas, yeah. So, like, yeah, they won by a ton, but I'm surprised that the voters saw that and were like, yeah, let's jump them in the rankings over a Tennessee who, yeah, we don't think Syracuse is going to be great this year, but they're definitely a lot better than Central Arkansas. So I agree with that.
And then my last one, Georgia Tech is on only half of our ballots, 4 out of 8, yet they're still the 20th team for us. So half of our fan base thinks Georgia Tech is terrible, and the other half are high enough on them, in fact, as high as number 7 in the country, to get them into the top 20. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Quick conference breakdown. The SEC has twice as many teams as the second best conference. They've got 10. We got 5 Big 10, 5 ACC, 4 Big 12, and an independent, and that's Notre Dame. So a lot of SEC love yet again. None of the voters saw Tennessee play due to Ohio State, Texas, and MSU. That's fair. That's fair. Because a lot of the voters are state fans, because that's kind of our friend group as state students and a former state student. So we were watching our 2 big games was Ohio State, Texas, and then State Southern. Tennessee did look good. Joey Aguilar looked good. One other interesting thing, last week we had 13 teams appear on every ballot. Last week we had 13 teams appear on every ballot. This week it was 14. That was interesting. I kind of expect that number to go up the further we get into season.
Absolutely.
And the more everything kind of settles. So we did have less voters at this point this week. If you're watching, go vote. It's super fun, super easy. I just love getting to see what other people think. I love seeing Georgia Tech at top 10. I don't have them there. I love seeing Arizona State unranked. I don't have them there. But it's just kind of cool to see the different opinions all mixed together, and it spits out something that looks kind of like the AP Top 25, but you get to have a say in it as opposed to just screaming at the TV or your phone.